My day job consists of building engines. On average, we're building one engine a week, and the engines are positioned in trains underneath each car. A lot of the trains nowadays, you've got an engine per carriage, and they're all connected all via wires and pipes and all the bits and pieces. So when the driver in the cab, he hits the throttle there, and then it tells them all to rev up, and away you go, basically.
This is 40-year-old Englishman Matt Summerfield. Hailing from Burton-upon-Trent, he's worked as a train engine builder for 14 years. During the week, you'll find him happily tinkering away in his firm's workshop. And at the weekends, Matt's even happier, taking part in the sport he loves and in which he excels. That sport is truck racing.
When you're going into turn one, you know, and there's potentially, 50 tonne of trucks around you, and probably 20,000 horsepower all barking away, and everyone's wants that space of, that patch of tarmac that you're on. That's if you're at the front, they want that patch of tarmac, but it's quite, well, it's just an unbelievable feeling, really.
Matt is the reigning British truck racing champion. He's been around the vehicles all his life, as his father built and restored them. It was a close friend who got Matt involved in racing back in the late 1990s.
Once it was opened up to me about truck racing, it was something that I'd never seen before, never raced on a track before, I'd never been to see the truck racing before, never went to see it before I actually turned up with my truck, literally seen it. I like that, I can do that. And he's went and bought one, went through it, sorted it, painted it, and then turned up at the track and raced it, and that was it.
Now, 16 years into his career, Matt is the best driver in the UK and has won the last 3 British truck racing championships. The 2015 championship consists of 8 rounds of action, and Transworld Sport met up with Matt at round 4, which took place at the famous Donington Park circuit in Leicestershire.
I dread them. I look forward to Sunday night, but I enjoy it all the time I'm there. And I know that sounds strange, but a lot of the time when it's that close and you're not looking forward to having somebody driving the side of your truck, are you? And you've just worked like 2 weeks solid, like straining it out after the last time they drove into it. So that does really take an edge off it.
Weighing over 5.5 tons, Matt's truck is a self-built machine. The engine is supplied by MAN. It produces 1,150 brake horsepower and propels the truck around the track at a safety-limited 100 miles per hour. In this sport, the trucks travel so fast and weigh so much that all 4 of the brakes are water-cooled. The trucks go through litres of water during each race in order to prevent them from catching fire.
The key thing to it all is stringing it all together and being reliable and consistent and going for the championship. For years we never dreamt about a championship. We went along, and if you had a good weekend and all the lads enjoyed themselves and we had just got a trophy or something or other, a championship, and how many points you've got were just, for years I didn't even know how many points I got, you know what I mean?
At each round of the British Truck Racing Championship, there are 5 races across the weekend. Going into Donington, Matt leads the overall standings by 14 points. However, the reigning champ gets off to a bad start in the opening race. He's forced wide by his close rival Stuart Oliver and never recovers. Things get worse for Matt towards the end of the race. whilst battling with Ryan Smith, a mistake from Smith takes Matt out, and the champion fails to finish a race for the first time in 3 years.
Get the back end cracked off! He smashed the axle back. Ryan didn't do that intentionally. He was into a corner, I heard him lock a wheel, and then he clattered me, and it's had the back axle out of it.
Matt's team, who were made up of friends and family, worked tirelessly to replace the broken part. Scott Brown is Matt's team manager.
We've had gearbox shaft snap, we've had engine changes, there's all sorts. And then sometimes there's nothing at all, just wash it, look at it, smile at it, off it goes again.
The team pull through, and Matt makes it to the start line for race 2, but at the back of the grid after his DNF in the previous encounter. Once again, it's not the best of starts for the champion, as he takes a big hit in the middle of the pack, forcing him completely off the track. Yet Matt doesn't panic, and he quickly regains his composure. Displaying his vast racing experience, he fights his way back from last to third, the position in which he eventually finishes in race 2.
He knows how to keep us cool. Like some people, you get red mist, and Matt's quite calm and collective, and I think that helps him out a lot. On the track, he's quiet. We don't hear much from him over the radios. He's quite calm, and sometimes you get him sing the odd time, but other than that, no, he's quite calm, and he just goes out there and does his job.
Matt's team volunteer their time at weekends, and he's hugely appreciative of all their efforts at the track.
They're all good lads, and I'm proud of them, and I think they're proud of me for what I do and the achievement we do and how we look. We all work together, and there's people from all walks of life. They give up their time, but they are part of something that I think is very special, and it's to be part of that, and then to go and race at Brands Hatch and at Donington and at Silverstone and at Nürburgring in Germany, and to win and to be part of something, you know, that's worth more than anything, really, isn't it? You know what I mean?
So day 1 ends slightly better than it began for Matt, and he still holds his championship lead going into day 2. Sunday brings an air of gloom, with heavy rain falling on the track. But that doesn't deter the hardened motorheads who follow this sport with zeal. Plus, the excess water on the track adds an extra dimension to the racing. However, the rain adversely affects the opening stages of the Division 2 race. Wayne Eason crashes heavily into the truck driven by his wife, breaking her leg. The race is abandoned as paramedics free her from the cab. A comparatively uneventful race 4 for the Division 1 races sees Matt finish 4th. But worryingly for him, his rival Stuart Oliver takes his second win of the weekend to move to the top of the championship standings. Yet Summerfield's chief sponsor, Keith Sims, knows that Matt's dip in form here at Donington is only temporary, and he'll be back to his winning ways soon.
Matt is a good driver because, to start off with, he's an engineer. He understands the truck. You know, the truck, to all intents and purposes, is an extension of Matt's body. You know, he really is in tune with the truck. He knows exactly what's what. With him being responsible for building it, maintaining it and everything, he really does understand it properly. Coupled with that, there's no doubt about it, Matt has got a very, very natural talent as a racing driver. And that is what makes him the guy that he is today.
I think I just worked at it. I've become a racing driver. I never was a racing driver. I haven't been to no racing driving school ever. Nobody's ever taught me how to race. it's all going to be a self-taught science, if you get what I mean, and then put that into a race truck, and you've got to freestyle a lot of things and tailor a lot of things to suit yourself. I think maybe if I got in one of them other trucks, I don't think I'd be as good. I think I've built this truck around me, if you know what I mean. And I think if I maybe got in one of them other, one of my main competitors' trucks, I probably won't be as good.
Donington is a washout for Matt as he's taken out once again in the final race of the weekend. Stuart Oliver goes on to extend his championship lead. But Oliver's lead doesn't last long. At round 5 at Silverstone, Team Summerfield bounced back, and at the recent event at Brands Hatch, Matt went on to claim his 4th successive British title, finishing just 2 points ahead of Oliver in the final championship standings. Meanwhile, back in his workshop doing his day job, Matt is already planning on making it 5 in a row next year.
When you sat in something with all this horsepower and torque, weighing 6 ton, and there's 20 of you all thumping down into turn 1, and you're all huddled up together, and you've got to get it round there, your heart's just pumping like mad. The adrenaline's just beyond all belief, and fall short of a ticket to the moon on a space shuttle. I don't think there's nothing else I'd rather do, to be fair, and I don't think we're going to get a ticket to the moon in the near future, so I'll just keep doing this.